Okay. Lesson 3.2.2. Solving equations using elimination. Now, hopefully, substitution sounded a little familiar yesterday. Once we got into it, it came back to you. And I think the same will be true for elimination. Okay, it should sound a little familiar. Usually, in my teaching experience, more of you tend to prefer elimination than substitution. We'll see if that holds true or not. And it just depends, because certain problems are set up more for elimination, certain problems are set up more for substitution. So, we have 4x plus 2y equals 9, and negative 4x plus 3y equals 16. Instead of substituting, yesterday I would have picked one of these equations, solved it for x and y, and put it into the other one. There's a reason that this is not my substitution examples. Is there an easy, obvious one to solve for x or y here? No. Okay, as I look at that, I'm like, yuck, I don't want to solve either of those for x or y because they're not, I'm going to have fractions involved. So, good news is we're trying elimination today. My goal is to eliminate one of my variables by either adding my two equations together or subtracting my equations. Which variable am I set up to eliminate?
X.
In this particular problem, I'm set up to eliminate x, yes? And notice about my x's, I'm set up to eliminate x because why? Okay, they're both 4's, yes? They're both 4 x's, they have the same coefficient. And in this one is a positive 4x and one is a negative 4x. How do you get a positive 4 and a negative 4 to cancel each other out?
Yes.
You're going to add them, yes? So because their signs are opposite signs, we're going to take these two equations. I'm going to do it right here. We're going to add these two equations together. You'll notice my x's are already lined up with x's, y's are lined up with y's, numbers are lined up with numbers. What is 4x plus negative 4x? 0. You can write 0x if you want. You can write 0 if you want, or you can just write nothing. Just the idea that, okay, these cancel to be 0. Move on. Okay, next. What is 2y plus 3y? Okay, 2y plus 3y is 5y. We're going to carry down the equal sign. And what is 9 plus 16? 9 plus 16 is 25. Well, I don't know about you guys, but that's good news to me. Why is that good news? It's going to be a nice, neat whole number, isn't it?
Yeah.
If I have the equation 5y equals 25, how do I solve? We're going to divide them both by 5. 5y divided by 5 is y. 25 divided by 5 is 5. That wasn't horrible, was it? Am I done? Why are you guys shaking your heads and telling me no?
X.
Okay. As with what we've been doing all week, answers are never just x or just y. They are always
X and Y.
an ordered pair, x and y. So, I know y. How do I find x?
Plug in Y.
Plug in y. Where am I going to plug y into?
Where it says
Okay. What did you say?
Y. Like where it says Y. Like
Where it says y. Which y? Okay, either one? Okay. Here's what you do. You pick one of the two original equations. Which one looks more friendly to you? Okay, and that's what you're doing. So you guys are all going to pick the top one because there's no negatives and there's slightly smaller numbers. That works. So we're going to take the equation 4x plus 2y equals 9, and every place I see a y, it becomes a 5. So 4x plus 2 times 5 equals 9. Now you're doing the math. 2 times 5 is 10. So 4x plus 10 equals 9.
You add 10 and minus 10.
Okay? If it's 4x plus 10, we're going to subtract 10. 10 minus 10 cancels. 9 minus 10 is negative 1. 4x equals negative 1. What do? If it's 4 times x, we're going to divide by 4, and x is negative 1/4. Yeah, it's a fraction, but hey, good news is
It's an easy fraction.
it's an easy fraction. We're done with the problem, right? Do I have to use that 1/4? No. Okay, how are you going to express your answer for me before you move on? Ordered pair? 5 comma negative 1/4.
Yeah, so we're gonna be switched.
Nice. I'm glad you guys are watching. Okay. I was just testing you. I was just testing you.
Sounds like a cover up to me.
You guys won't take it? You guys won't accept I was just testing you? Make sure you're paying attention?
No.
Okay.
Not everybody's perfect.
Okay.
Oh my gosh.
Well, when I turned around, I see people kind of whispering to each other, and I was like, crap, what did I do? Something is wrong here. What is it? So, thank you, though. I do want you guys paying attention.
It wasn't worse than that.
Yeah, that's
Wasn't worse than forgetting a negative y.
but still, it's a mistake we make, right?
Yes.
I'm human just like you guys. So, okay, we got the idea there. Now, I think I kind of have room at the bottom, but I think I'm going to move the screen up because people are peering around heads and, So,
Lorna's having to be like right there.
huh?
Lorna's head like right.
Hey, at least you only have one head.
That's smack you one day. She's gonna be like, quit talking about me. But I got this. I got this, guys.
I can't even see how that's going to be comfortable, but okay.
Perfect.
Okay, moving on.
Lorna, I was just kidding. I am a.
As we look at the next problem, negative 2x plus 8y equals negative 8. Negative 5x plus 8y equals negative 20. Okay. Again, there's a reason, although that one we could solve one of them and not be horrible, but there's a reason we're not trying substitution with this one. We're trying elimination. So, with that in mind, which are we set up to eliminate, x or y?
Why?
Y because
There's two.
they're both 8y's, right?
Right.
So we're set up to eliminate y's. Now, I'm curious how you guys have been taught. Because there's two different ways we can do this. And I don't know that you guys haven't all had the same Algebra 1 teacher either, so you could have been taught two different ways. As you look at 8y and 8y, how do we get 8y and 8y, since they're both the same sign, to cancel? Subtract. Is that how you've been taught to subtract them?
Yeah.
Because, okay, so one option is we subtract, which means we have to subtract each piece. Negative 2 minus negative 5, and negative 8 minus negative 20. The other option is we can multiply one of the equations by a negative, so then that we're always adding.
Just subtract.
You guys want to go with subtract?
Yeah. Then you have your opposite sign.
Okay, because and that's where I don't know who's been taught what. Do you guys remember what Mrs. Rogers taught?
I think she taught subtraction because I've never heard the multiple.
Okay, okay. So I can teach either way. I'm fine with either way. You just have to be careful. So if you guys want to try the subtracting?
Yeah.
Okay, so if we try subtracting, and here's what I'm going to say. My memory technique, because I've taught both over the years. I haven't taught subtracting for a few years, but we'll try it. If the signs are opposite, it's opposite signs add. If the signs are the same sign, subtract. So SSS. Okay? That's kind of my memory thing there. Now, when we do this, here's what you have to watch out for. It's negative 2x minus negative 5. So you have to ask yourself, what is negative 2 minus negative 5? 3x?
Yeah.
Because it's keep, change, opposite. If we go back to your middle school days.
We had like a whole video about that.
That's good.
No, two negatives make a positive.
8y minus 8y. They better cancel, right? That's the whole point of what I'm trying to do.
No.
Carry down your equal sign. Negative 8 minus negative 20. 12. Keep, change, opposite. Okay, if 3x equals 12, we feel like we're on the right track because they're giving us a whole number, right? Divide by 3, and x is 4. Am I done?
No.
No.
For your y.
Okay. We have x equals 4. We have to find our y. So, take this 4 and what? Plug it in. Which equation? Now, if you want to try, if I use the top, could you try the bottom if you want? Sure. So we have negative 2x plus 8y equals negative 8. So negative 2x, which is 4, plus 8y equals negative 8. Negative 2 times 4 is negative 8 plus 8y equals negative 8.
Oh my god.
Yeah. That's a lot of
Why?
Okay. How do I move this negative 8 to the other side? We're going to add 8. If I add 8 on the left, we add 8 on the right. Negative 8 plus 8 cancels. I have 8y equals 0. Yeah. 0 is a number, yes?
Yes.
0 is a number, it's possible. Okay? I know, I tend to get, this is where people will try and stop and tell me, oh, this is 0, no solution, infinitely many solutions. No, 0 is a number, it's good. We're all good. If it's 8 times y, what do we do? Divide by 8. And 0 divided by anything is 0. Okay? Now, I didn't think to talk about this earlier. How can you check your answer? Plug it into both equations, right? So what is my answer here? 4, 0? See, I'll blame it on you guys. Last time you guys didn't tell me what that answer was. That's why I wrote down the wrong thing.
You didn't ask. You didn't ask.
I always
That's your
ask.
fault. No.
I always ask.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Are we good there?
I mean, yeah.
Now, am I safe to work here or should I move the screen up?
You're good.
You sit at the front. You can't answer if you sit at the front. You have no one to block your view, Alexis, so.
Yes, I do.
I'm wondering if it might be easier.
Yeah.
I'm going to move it up.
Can you see now? What if I just like move my head this way?
I'm going to move it up just because I feel like those people in the back might not have to, like, bounce around quite as much. I don't know. And this is a new thing for me, right? Teaching on here. So you guys realize you're going to have to tell me things I need to improve. So, okay. 2x plus 7y equals 4. 3x plus 5y equals negative 5. Interesting. Why is it interesting?
Because they're not the same.
Okay. My x's are different. They don't have the same coefficient, 2x and 3x. My y's are different, 7y and 5y. They don't have the same coefficient. Okay. So this is the next step up in elimination. We're multiplying before we add or subtract. So this is where you get to pick. Do you want to multiply one or both equations by something, depends on the situation, to make my x's the same? Or do we want to get the y's the same?
Yeah, your X is easier.
Okay. X's make sense in this one because 2x and 3x, what can 2x and 3x both relatively easily become? 6x, yes? So, with that in mind, what am I going to multiply the top equation by? I'm going to multiply my top equation by 3, and that will give me 6x. So, now, am I just multiplying the x by 3? No, it becomes 6x plus 21y equals 12. So I multiplied the entire equation by 3. Now, pause with me before you do the next one. What are you going to multiply that next equation by?
2.
2. Or what's another option?
Wait, what?
Are you guys okay with getting these same signs so that we have to subtract?
Do negative 2. Negative.
Or what would multiplying by negative 2 do for me?
Maybe a negative 6x and it just cancels.
You'd have opposite signs and you could just add the two equations together. So this is where I don't care. If you want to multiply by positive 2 and they're positive answers, you have to subtract them. That's fine. My preference to teach here is that we multiply by negative 2. Kind of like in the previous problem, we could have multiplied one of those equations by negative 1 so that we add. Okay, so if I multiply this by negative 2, it becomes negative 6x. Okay, I heard plus negative 10y. I wrote minus 10y. Same thing. I don't care what you write. Same thing. Equals positive 10. Now, because I have a positive 6 and a negative 6, I have opposite signs. How does it cancel? It cancels when I add. So I'm going to add my two equations together. Okay? So what is 6x plus negative 6x? 0x, gone. 21y plus a negative 10y. It's a minus 10y, think negative 10y. So what's 21 plus negative 10? It's 11y. Carry down your equal sign. 12 plus 10. And it is always so reassuring when I get something that's leading me towards a whole number. If it's 11 times y, we're going to divide by 11. And y is 2. Okay, now what? Plug in the y. Where? Okay, top equation. Now, technically, there's kind of 4 equations you could use, really, to pick from. But
Can we use the top first one?
yes, I would encourage you to go back to one of the top original 2. One of the original 2. Doesn't matter which. You guys seem to be picking the top. Just what? There's no negative. Is that what we're going for here? And smaller numbers? Okay. So, if we do that, it's 2x plus 7 times y, which is 2, equals 4. 2x plus 14 equals 4. If it's 2x plus 14, we're going to subtract 14. What is 4 minus 14? Negative 10. I feel like I'm on good track here. If it's 2x, we're going to divide by 2, and x is negative 5. Okay, final answer? Negative 5, 2. Those are kind of the different variations of what you might have to do. You might be able to just add or subtract as is. You might want to multiply one of your equations by a negative so that you can just always add. You might have to multiply one or both equations by a number before you can add or subtract. Okay? So, now, there is a typo in the next one, isn't there?
There is.
There is.
Yeah. So that's not supposed to be a plus then?
It's not it's not supposed to be a plus or minus. That's a typo. It should be a plus. 3x plus 7y equals 15. I don't know. Maybe you guys didn't even catch it, but
Nope. I didn't. I caught it. I just kind of figured it was notes.
Okay, so, when I'm doing this on paper, I can white it out. Huh.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so anyways, yeah, this is a plus or minus sign. If you guys aren't familiar with it, but it is supposed to be plus. So with that in mind, what do we need to do to be able to eliminate an x or a y?
Multiply by -5 and 3.
Or.
2 and -7.
Okay, so the fight begins.
Jeez.
Okay, and now here's the point, okay? I had the first suggestion of multiplying by a combination of 5 and 3, one of them negative, whichever, you know. And then we had the controversial, no, how about some combination of 2 and 7? Now, here's the deal. Both work, yes?
Yes.
Okay, here's the deal. Do you want to multiply by 5 and 3 and eliminate x's? Or do you want to multiply by 2 and 7 and multiply y's?
3 and 5.
2
So-
and 7.
2 and 7. I think 3 and 5.
I
Seven.
Now,
think this
okay.
against Kylie.
Here's
easier.
I don't even want to have to pick right now, but here's what I'm going to pick and why I'm going to pick it. Last time we eliminated x's. So I want to just show that we can also eliminate y's.
No, she just doesn't like Kylie.
I didn't want to pick because I didn't want to go there. Okay, so
I said no, she just doesn't like Kylie.
No, I understand. I can understand that. A lot of people think that I'm like Patrick. I promise I'm not. I'm super nice.
No, I actually like Patrick.
Patrick's so mean.
I say
okay, moving along, guys. We gotta get going here. Okay, so if I am choosing to eliminate y's, now if you want a challenge for yourself, eliminate x's on your own and meet me in the end. You could do that. You know enough to do that. Okay? Just don't usually complain when, you know, if you make a mistake you can't find it, but you know. So, well, I can help you after class if you make a mistake. I'm running out of time here. Okay, so if we use 2 and 7, which one do you want to use as a negative? I would use the bottom one, although it doesn't matter again, right? There's so many different options here, aren't there? So, if I multiply that top equation by 2, it becomes 6x plus 14y equals 30. If I multiply my bottom equation by -7, negative 35x minus 14y equals positive 28. My 14y's have what kind of signs? Opposite, so I'm going to add. 6 plus negative 35. Negative 29x. 14y plus negative 14y. Cancel. 30 plus 28. A number. That's easy adding. 58. What are you finding about negative 29x and 58?
They aren't easy -2.
They do easily divide, actually. Yep. Divide by negative 29. 58 divided by negative 29 is what?
-2.
Negative 2.
My brain doesn't do that kind of math.
Oh, okay.
I'm glad you do.
Okay. Am I done?
No.
No. I'd go back to original equation. I'm going to use the bottom one this time just because I can.
Oh.
You know. If you want to use the top, meet me in the end.
Would you use the first ones or could you use?
I always go back to my originals. I don't. You're talking about these. I don't use these.
Could you?
You could, but they have bigger numbers, and I go back to the original. So I'm going to use 5x, which is 5 times negative 2 plus 2y equals negative 4. 5 times negative 2 is negative 10 plus 2y equals negative 4. How do I move negative 10 across an equal sign? We're going to add 10. 2y equals negative 4 plus 10 is 6. If it's 2 times y, divide by 2, and y is 3.
You get the same answer as the other question.
You better.
I mean,
And here's the deal. There's so many different ways you could have gone a different direction from me in this problem, right? And we should all meet in the end. No matter what direction you went, if done correctly, we all meet in the end for the final answer of negative 2, 3. Okay. I got 2 more examples I want to look at. This one and the top one on the back side. We're not doing all of these, by the way. It gets to be overkill. You know what you're doing at this point, yes?
Yes.
You know the basics. Okay, so I think I'm going, no, I can't necessarily get them on the same page. Emma?
So what would you do for like the next question where everything cancels?
Gotta give me a moment.
Oh, sorry.
We'll get there. That's what we're going to talk about. Okay, so let me ask you a question. I'm going to start with the same questions. What do you want to eliminate? X or Y?
X.
Okay, whichever. Okay, so what you're kind of noticing a unique situation here, right? Those are your same Y's. You picked Y's because they're both 1 Y's, and it's a positive and a negative. Those of you that said X's, you're saying X because they're both 3 X's. It's a positive and a negative. Okay, we're in the same situation. As we look at those, how do we add or subtract? We're going to add. So we're going to add these 2 equations together and see what happens. What is negative 3x plus 3x?
0.
0. It cancels. What is y plus negative y?
0.
0. It cancels. What remains on the left-hand side of my equation?
0.
0. On the right, and this is important, what is negative 5 plus 5?
0.
0. So, think back to substitution.
It's infinitely many.
My variables canceled out, yes? We have 2 options when your variables cancel out, and it's dependent on what is shown at the end. When it says 0 equals 0, what do we know about 0 equals 0?
True.
0 does equal 0, doesn't it? And so, since 0 does equal 0, this problem has infinitely many solutions.
Can we just put IMS?
Sure.
that didn't sound very promising.
My only hesitation there is, do you know what IMS stands for? Or a week down the road, are you just going to be putting IMS and not remember what it stands for? So, okay, I want to look at the top one on the next page, and that's it. Then we're done with the notes. You've seen plenty. You know how to do elimination. So, we're not coming back and finishing more notes tomorrow because we don't need them. It's overkill. Okay. So, do you want to eliminate X or Y?
Just add up.
Okay? If you're eliminating X, it's a positive 4X and a negative 4X.
0.
Opposite sign, so we're going to add. What is 4X plus negative 4X?
0.
They cancel. What is negative 6Y plus 6Y?
0.
What remains on the left side?
16.
On the left side, 0. We need to practice left versus right.
Oh yeah.
On the right, okay, 6 plus 10, 16. What's different about this problem?
Not true. So it's new
We get to, and this is where I said that final number does matter. Does 0 equal 16? No, so this one is no solution. And think about it, folks. If it's no solution, what's a no solution going to look like? No solution means the 2 lines are what?
Or parallel.
Parallel. They're never going to cross. So no solution, parallel lines are never going to cross. What's infinitely many solutions look like?
on top of each other.
It's the same line. They're on top of each other, always touching. And then anything that has an ordered pair,
X.
2 lines, typical crossing, 1 intersection point. Okay, your homework is 3.2.2. I did not stutter. In, of course, Math Excel. Okay? Have that done for tomorrow.